Well, hello, my soul friends. It's Victoria with my going live once a week is the goal, pretty much. And I'm here. And welcome if this is your first time to this channel. I'm imagining you're watching the replay. I didn't announce I'm going live, so we'll see who shows up. I just had an opportunity, I had a moment, and here I am. And I also had a topic on my heart. Just I'll get to in a moment. So let me tell you about the Soul Nurture channel. And trust there's no accident that you clicked on this video. Just give me a couple minutes and see if what I'm about to say is going to connect with you, meet you right where you are to support you on your journey of unfolding. And hopefully invite you to reclaim some of your beautiful soul potential that you came into the world with and learn to nurture that soul potential into your highest possibilities for you, your purpose, and your life. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I would like to invite you to consider subscribing. Subscriptions, likes, and comments help me get into the algorithm. I don't know how it works exactly. I just know there's something to the YouTube algorithm. And the more likes, more comments I get, the more opportunity I get to outreach what I have to offer to people out there in the world. I get viewers and emails and comments from people all over the world, and I'm deeply, deeply honored. And I do want to say this before I jump into my topic. Okay, so I do offer these 20-minute consultations. I offer these because I'm in this world too. I know what it feels like. I know there's a lot going on, and I just want to offer what I can to support people out there to connect to some potential. That, hello, Brittany, that 20-minute consultation I offer for free, it's my sacred offering. It is my way to pay it forward. It is my way when I think about the world and everybody out there, it's my way to contribute something I do have from my heart to yours, from my soul to yours. And I love to do them, and I'm able to do them right now. I don't have a lot of time to do, I'm scheduling a lot of people and I've got my own life to deal with. So it's what I offer. And then from there, people book sessions. And the videos I do here is my third contribution. And this is another free contribution. I don't have, what is it called? I haven't monetized this channel. This is a channel that is sort of just a place to gather and offer you what I have to offer to support you, to support all of us. So that said, I've been having some glitches with my computer program with the consultations. I don't know what's going on. It seems like hit or miss. Some people, their emails come through directly from my website. I respond, they respond. I get a number of people I respond and I don't hear anything from. And then I get emails or a follow-up that says, I never heard from you. So let me tell you this. If you have not heard from me and you reached out for a free consultation and you've not had a free consultation yet, email me at thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. I need to figure out the website glitch. But for now, if you haven't heard from me, try again. Don't give up. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for being here. And how you doing? This is a spot, a space for you also when you click on any of my videos, not just to learn what I'm offering, but to just pause. I want you to think, oh, I'm with Victoria. I'm going to imagine Victoria sitting across from me. And right now I am. And I'm saying to you, how are you doing? How are you connecting to yourself? How are you feeling? What are you noticing in your mind? What's going on in your life? How are you navigating what's going on in your life? And I think if we do nothing more than more regularly pause and pay attention to our inner worlds, then ask what we need and then offer what we need, then we have more to contribute, more to navigate with, more energy, more vitality, right? Well, so if you're joining me now, just take a moment. Brittany's here with me too. Take a moment. I think I'm going to go for about 20 minutes. I just want to cover my topic, which is have compassion for yourself, offer yourself grace, because changing your beliefs, changing out of old ways of being, it's challenging, right? I mean, we all would just flip a switch if we could. And I know a lot of people come to me because my base foundational modality is transformational hypnotherapy. And yes, it works. And yes, people can have shifts just like that. But mostly, I think of the work I do kind of like a personal trainer for your mind, right? Addressing that we are souls having a human experience, addressing the mind, the computer mind with its programming. And so just like you wouldn't go to a gym one time and have a really good workout and say, I'm fit for the rest of my life, I'm good. No, changing, shifting out of old beliefs, old patterns takes a lot of concerted, conscious energy and focus and intention. So I want to talk about this today because I know a lot of people, there's this sort of this, what's the word I'm looking for? Self-fulfilling prophecy is kind of the spiral down. So let me try to the best of my ability to explain to you my take on beliefs. First of all, I like to point out, I say this, I used to do this in my office. I'd have a whiteboard and I'd ask my clients to tell me what the word in the middle of belief or believe is. Most people think about it. You might have heard me say this before. Most people spontaneously say, live, it's live, believe, live. And I'm like, no, that is what we'd like to think, that our beliefs are all about living, right? And they do support us. Beliefs are what generates our patterns, our way of being, our way of navigating our lives. So what's the word in the middle of belief or belief or belief or believe? The word is lie. So really, we need to look at the beliefs that we adapted into, that we took on when we were younger in order. Yes. Hey, hello, you got it right. Is your first name Happy, or that's just probably your YouTube name? But I love it. Happy got it right. It's lie. So the beliefs, the lies of the mind that we took on in order to adapt, to fit in, to conform, when we were programmed and conditioned in our early years. I'm going to switch to my notes, guys. So I'll come back for if you have any questions you want me to cover. I'm just going to get into my topic. Feel free to ask questions. Okay. So why is it so hard to change out of our beliefs? Well, what I believe is that, and when I've been doing this work for like a long time, 23 years or more professionally, and been on my own journey of reclaiming my potential, healing my wounded self to emerge my empowered self, which is mostly what I do. And so you hear a lot of people talk about limited beliefs. I call them wounded beliefs because they are beliefs that are generated when we're wounded or when we aren't getting our needs met, our essential needs. Now, when we come into this world, that's the primary function in the human experience, to get your needs met. First need, safety, to feel safe. Other needs, to belong, to feel loved, accepted. Of course, the physiological needs of food and water and shelter and clothing, right? I mean, clothing is an optional need, I guess, for some of my primal arts people out there, naked and afraid out in the woods, or not afraid, just being in nature. So consider this. The majority of our computer mind is the programmed material in our subconscious mind. And we are in that 95% of the time. 5% of the time, we're in our conscious awareness where we're thinking, I know I could be doing better. I want to do this. I want to experience these things. And so say you set a goal and you say, I would really like to, be in a healthy relationship. When I get going, I get a little warm and I've got a light on and candle going. So I'm like, whoo, kind of heating up here, getting my message out. So when we set that goal, that's a 5% logic, reasoning, decision-making, willpower. Let's say get in shape, because that's a big one, or eat healthier. This is an important one. That information goes down to your subconscious mind, where all of your programming is, all the files of your mind. So say you're wanting to eat healthier, you open up the file of, the files of food. What do we know about food? And what do we know about self-care? How are these files programmed? From our family of origins, those that we got the primary need of safety and belonging met first. And this is really, really key, really, really important, because our beliefs and needs get wired in very deeply in our early ages, from in utero to 7 years old. Of course, we're always programming more. Life happens, challenges happen, tragedy happens. These things get programmed and wired into our subconscious mind. Okay. So, and this is the majority of where we are operating. You set that goal. I want to, get in shape. I want to eat better. In your subconscious mind, I always picture like there's like a little committee down there going, oh gosh, don't have any information on that. I can't support you because you don't have any, and this is a key word, references for how to do the thing you want to do. And in addition, you have constructed some beliefs that are not empowering you to go for what you want. Okay. So I'm just going to pop over to my little screen over here. See my people here. And okay, great. No questions yet. You can ask questions and I'll come back to them if you need me to. If there's any clarification of what I'm saying, feel free. Okay. All right. So the negative beliefs that we create, they get reinforced in our earlier environment. They're intricately woven into our identity, our role in our family of origin, and that is how we navigate. That's how we navigated to get our essential needs met, right? So it goes something like this. Remember, I always say we do not blame our parents. They did the best they could, but we can do better. And we must do better for the potential that God has given us to fulfill the promises of that potential and the unique and beautiful purpose that we all have. Okay. So when we try to change these beliefs consciously, our subconscious mind may have a block because there's no information, or there's a belief saying, no, this isn't safe to do this. It's kind of like the comfort zone. When, we live in this comfort zone, that's all that is familiar, all that we know. The subconscious mind doesn't know good, bad, wrong, or right. It just has information that it thinks is keeping you safe with. Okay, this is really tricky. So I'm going to try to repeat this a few times. It thinks it's keeping you safe, even if it's not really safe. In other words, say you grew up in an environment where there wasn't a lot of emotional support or affection or connection. So that's safe. That's what you know. That's what's known in the subconscious mind. That's what's familiar. That's what's referenced. And that's what keeps you safe. And say that consciously, you're saying, I really want to be connected with somebody. I want to have affection. But it's such a foreign thing to you that you may sabotage relationships, or you feel blocked or stuck or unable to really articulate that need. So when we're first trying to get our needs met, again, I covered some of those. It goes like this. Say a need is not met. Say you have a need for somebody being really present to you, and that need wasn't met for whatever reason in your childhood. We begin to create a belief about that. And remember, we're really, everything is about us when we're kids. We're egocentric. We don't have the cognitive ability to say, mom's not available right now, or dad's busy. We make everything about us. So That could look like, or a belief could be, no one's available. Then it could be like, I don't matter, or I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Some of these are the negative core beliefs, right? The root beliefs that don't grow or fruit or blossom our potential. So just bringing awareness to that for you right now. And so we adapt into that belief and we hold on to that belief, because if we believe that we're not good enough, then we stop expecting the need to be met in a place that it's not going to be met. And then this is really tricky. When we get older, we move out of our family of origin or wherever that belief was constructed. That's operating in the unconscious mind, and it's blocking. Like, so say you're trying to do something now where you're changing your eating, and it goes and hits that belief like, you don't matter, you're not important, you're not worthy, you're not good enough. And so then we stop taking action towards our potential and our possibilities and our self-care, because we've got that self fulfilling prophecy in our subconscious mind with the beliefs. So that's adapting in our early environment with creating these lives of the mind, our beliefs. So transformation requires us to question the belief. Now, what's tricky and even more challenging of why it's harder to just say, okay, why don't we just suddenly say, no, I'm worthy, I'm good enough, I matter. Why doesn't it just go like that? You just think it into being. Now, you can affirm, you can practice in a new way of being, and that takes a lot of effort. And that's important. Like I said, back to the gym. You keep going back to the gym and doing your workout. For transformation, it does require a consistent effort to change your beliefs. But what I have found is, I think a big key, is that you must let your mind-body system know that it is safe for you. And one way to do that is put your hand over your heart and affirm, it is safe for me to update my programming. It is safe to live the life that is possible for me. Now, here's what happens though. You may have a pushback like sabotage. And that pushback comes from an unconscious wired fear that if you do something contrary to your early programming, you may miss out on the need getting met, those early primal needs getting met of belonging, of love, of connection. This is why it's so deep. And this is why it's challenging with only one person in the family going for their transformation. The other family is like, we're good. I don't want to change. And so they're staying status quo with all the beliefs, all the patterns, all the traditions, all the ways of being that family of origin created and get their needs met from. So I know this is complicated. I'm trying to keep it simple, but the whole point of this conversation, this topic, was to give you space for grace to just, okay, take a breath and say, yeah, I know the work I'm doing is deep. And I know if you're on a transformational journey and you're reclaiming your soul potential, it's not easy unless, it's easier if you have a lot of people in your family who are supporting you, but say you're the only one in your family that's the one that's awake and saying, we can do this differently. This can be challenging because you're breaking a loyalty bond in the unconscious programming. And then primally, remember our brain is pretty much primal and will go into that fight, flight, freeze, or fawn if we feel a threat. And there can be an unconscious threat. You're breaching agreements. And you may be, remember the primal brain would be like, if I lose my tribe, I'm out on the savannah by myself and I could be eaten by a lion, right? The primal brain doesn't understand. It just goes into that fear. Okay, I'm going to look at some comments here. People get triggered when questioned on their beliefs, but we are not our beliefs. That's true. Yeah, well, I think it's probably I think that when we question somebody else on their beliefs, that may create a defensiveness. Remember, these beliefs are so wired into our identity, our way of being. So that's why I always say the only world you can change is your inner world. So we question our beliefs. And cognitive dissonance is painful for the mind. Yes, I'm with you. I get you. Okay. So now, here's the thing: when you go for your deep dive transformation, you must surrender and trust. And this is where faith comes in. If you believe in a God that created you, if you believe in the higher connection to the universe, that you were created with purpose and potential, and if you're stagnant and stuck, you're not fulfilling that potential. And so this is where we need to surrender some of our attachments and disconnect from the dysfunctional attachments and connect into the source of the higher possibility. If you believe and have faith that, for me, I'll just speak for me, that I'm never alone because I'm always have the love of my creator. And that this came to me recently. It was very freeing, because another thing we do is we limit what we say because we're afraid of what people will think of us. We're afraid of losing that contact, that connection. But if you have contact and connection with your higher self or God, your soul, however you believe, you're never alone. And you're always connected or have access to unlimited love, unconditional love, acceptance. So, okay, I'm going to go back to my notes because I had this whole thing laid out. I did want to talk about the basic needs, though. And that here's what I have found too. Of course, we're dependent on the external when we're little, when we're kids. Of course we are. We need someone to feed us. We need someone to clothe us, house us, love us, keep us safe. But at some point, as we get older, we need to flip the switch. Instead of being dependent on the external, we become reliant on our internal ability to meet our needs in a healthy way. And this is key to changing a belief. If you're going to change a belief, first, you have to meet the need. So what does that mean? So say you have a belief that you don't matter because someone was not present to you. So what's the need that's missing? Someone being present to you. What's the healing? Being present to yourself in the way that you needed someone else to do. And beyond that, I often talk about what I call soul medicine. You already have the ability to do that because you're offering it to someone else. I guarantee you, whatever your deep wound was, you've been cultivating what I call soul medicine. So, for instance, a wound of abandonment. What is the deep medicine, soul medicine that was cultivated? The ability to be loyal and connected to others. What's the healing for self? The ability to be loyal and connected to self. Does this make sense? I hope it does. Okay. People don't generally change belief until an event occurs in their life. Possibly true, but also people change beliefs when they know their beliefs aren't working. I also think of beliefs as like the clothes you're wearing. Suddenly you realize, I don't like this style of clothing. It doesn't bring my true self. It doesn't highlight my true self. It doesn't feel like me. Then we begin to change our beliefs by saying, this belief prevents me from being my authentic self. If I believe I'm not worthy, I can't shine. So I try on the belief of I am worthy, and I meet the needs connected to that. And it goes both ways. So you claim that you are worthy. I'm going to talk about how do you program it in, but here's a few ways, and I'll just touch on it. Hypnosis, NLP, tapping is very effective and extremely effective in changing beliefs because it helps mitigate the fear connected to making change. It addresses the amygdala and all of our fear responses. Remember, we're wired into this belief, even if it's not a good, supportive, empowered belief, it's connected to safety. So I'm not going to change it. So tapping is very, very helpful for calming down the physiological fear response and then opening the subconscious mind to receive the new reference that's empowered with this reinforced sense of safe to do so. Okay. So I'm going to look at my notes a little bit more and then I'm going to wrap up because, man, it's already 25 minutes. It goes so fast when I pop on here. I did want to say this quote that kept coming to my mind when I was thinking about this topic, a way to reference yourself in the present moment. Deepak Chopra said something like this: if you want to know what your beliefs were in the past, look at your circumstances in the present. If you want to know what your future is going to be like, look at your beliefs in the present. Okay. So our beliefs are the active agent towards our way of being. They are connected to our patterns and our choices. And they're either empowering us towards our highest potential or they're keeping us stuck and limited in a way of being that we think is keeping us safe. Okay. So let's see what else I wrote. So I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm going to read what I wrote. So stay in your early needs of security and belonging and love, the way that love was demonstrated in your family of origin, that these needs were met in a way that is woven in with your negative beliefs. The negative belief of not being worthy, or maybe you lacked positive mirrors to show you your potential, or you grew up in an environment of negativity, or there's dysfunction. Let's face it, I don't know any. I've been doing this work for so long. I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands of people. I don't know anyone that has the perfect family. It's just life. And maybe that's part of the design. We select our families, our parents, in order to cultivate our soul potential. And so we give grace to our families and our parents. So consciously, we can assess it's not healthy, the foundation we grew up in, the patterns that we cultivated out of beliefs that we chose unconsciously. We know this to be true, right? But that primary need of safety is so pivotal. So when you reassure yourself, and when I work with people, another thing I offer is to create an inner sense of safety, your own inner safety, security, all the things you need in your inner world, then that allows you to relax into your being and live from more of your authentic self. Okay. All right. Seems like I had a lot more to say about this. And again, the key is, we stay attached to our early programming because we have fear of losing attachment to our loved ones where that programming was created. So another thing I wanted to say is, that saying, we don't really care about what other people think. We care about what we think. That is very true. And it's important to remember when you're feeling judged by someone, come back and ask yourself, where are you judging yourself? Free yourself from that. But also, we don't really care about what others think about us. We unconsciously fear losing connection. Remember that primal brain, like, oh, if people reject what I'm saying, I may be all alone on the savannah being eaten by a lion, right? That's how the brain is. It's so primal that way. Okay. So I think that's all I have. I thought I had another quote, but I don't see. I didn't write it out here. Talked about EFT. So I wanted just to leave you with this. What are some solutions? Thank you, Happy. I'm glad this is making sense. It's a complicated thing to break down, but it all comes down to that. Our beliefs control or set us up for our patterns. Our patterns create our way of being. Our way of being creates who we are in the world. So go back to the primary need. What did I need in childhood that I need to offer to myself and practice it in? Because the other thing that's complicated is we tend to treat ourselves the way that our family of origin treated us. So in other words, if there was neglect, we tend to neglect ourselves. If there was a lack of positive reinforcement, we tend to be negative with ourselves. So there's a lot of, things to untangle from in order to free your soul essence, your soul potential. So again, the simple way to think about it, what did you need? How do you meet that need currently? And then when that need is met, what new belief is generated? When you have a need met of feeling like you're loved, what belief is generated? I'm lovable. I'm good enough. I matter. Okay. And then from that, you say, now that I reclaimed the need and the belief that I'm worthy, that I'm lovable, that I matter, what new patterns do I set up to reinforce that belief? Instead of operating from the wounded belief that sets you up to reinforce that belief. In other words, if you have a wounded belief that you're not worthy, then maybe you're not eating healthy, or you don't take the time to prepare a healthy meal, or you don't drink enough water, or you don't move your body because unconsciously you feel you're not worthy of that care. Okay? That really just, if I could get you to get that, to come out of the sort of conditioned way of seeing yourself and come to this fresh moment of choosing again. What do you need? What needs weren't met? How can you meet them now creatively and lovingly? That creates empowered beliefs that you can live with, like put them on, wear them, embody them, choose from them, live your life from them. Okay. All right. That's what I have for you today. Beliefs. Let's change them up. Let's turn those lies into the truth of our being that allows us to blossom our soul potential, to show up free to be ourselves because we're congruent with what our soul is all about and what we believe about ourselves. And when we're congruent, then we are in the flow with all that's possible. All right. Thanks, ladies, for being with me. Sending you love. I'll be with you guys again, I think next week when we have the full moon. Is it already another full moon? Oh, and I probably will do a video on the autumn equinox. The sun is moving into Libra on September 23rd here. It's like late in the evening, like 11 p.m. Pacific time anyway. So it'll be our fall or autumn on the northern hemisphere and springtime in the southern hemisphere. Bye, happy. And thanks for being with me. And I'm going to receive happy. I love that word. I love happiness. Before I leave you, what do you want to claim for yourself right now in this moment? Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next week. Don't wait for the new year. Don't wait for the new moon. Right now, what intentions do you want to set? What do you want to claim in this moment? I was working with a client earlier today, and I was reminding them about the Google search in our mind. Now, where are we focusing? Where you focus, you can focus on what's not working, what's wrong, what's problematic, or what's possible, what is working. So setting an intention lets your reticular activating system, your Google search brain, find more that's going to support you. Okay. So what's your intention? And your intention can be, I intend to experience joy today, or happiness, or love, or healthy patterns today. And let your unconscious mind move in the direction that you want to move towards. Okay. And let your soul guide you. All right. All my love. Thanks for being with me. Subscribe if you haven't. Like and comment as much as you like. Send me an email if you did not hear from me. You can still continue to visit my website, victoriajaswick.com. And I do request that you put your request there first because I can track it that way. But if you do not give me the right email or phone number to reach you, and I do respond to everything, and you don't hear from me, then try my email directly, thesoulnurturer@gmail.com. All right. I'm done for the day. I'm clocking out. Tomorrow is my anniversary, and so we have a little trip planned, and I'll be with you next week sometime. All my love. Take good care of you. Until then, bye-bye.